Hey everyone, we are back with Dr. Raffi today. I'm so excited to have him here. How are you?
Good, Andre. I'm doing well. Thank you. It's great to be back online with you as well. Here in chilly Sydney. How's it going where you are?
Chilly Sydney. Well, I don't know. I'm coming back from London after 9 days of exploring the UK. But this time I have a very exciting topic that I was struggling with myself and the family. It's about asthma. And before I ask you about what you could do with asthma or what you have done to people with asthma and what results did you get, I just wanted to put it out there that according to my research, asthma is to do with the person's not coping or not feeling that they're able to cope with the environment, and that is affecting their breathing. But I really want to have your take on this and what have you been able to do and help the people with. So let's go in. Tell me about asthma and posture and all that you know.
Yeah, awesome. No, there's asthma is such an interesting topic because asthma, as you're aware, can really affect your life. It can have there's limiting beliefs on what you can and can't do when you have asthma. Coming from a chiropractor's perspective, where we look at understanding how structure can be affected by asthma, we tend to look at areas of the spine, which, for example, the upper back, where the nerves come out from the spine, they also wrap around the lungs. They innervate the lungs with neurology. And so for a chiropractor, it's very important for us to make sure that someone who is suffering with asthma has a proper functioning upper back. So we tend to look at posture, and that's something that I have worked with children and adults with. So I have adjusted many people with asthma, and one thing that I've found that does help is improving, again, that function of the upper back. So adjusting the upper back seems to improve, or if I use it as an outcome measure, they tend to not need their Ventolin as much. Now, obviously, this is varying depending on the person and how severe their asthma is. But definitely having asthma also affects your posture and it affects the way you breathe. And so therefore, it is really, really important to make sure that you do work on the symptoms and make sure that you do work on your posture, and sitting up straight and taking deeper breaths when you can expands the lungs. And so that will also improve the movement of your rib cage. So yeah, so it's amazing because asthma does have these bigger symptoms that affect your life, structurally from my perspective, but also as you were telling me earlier, emotionally and psychologically too.
And what was happening to I remember you told me about one specific patient or who was struggling with asthma and your work has changed considerably uh, the condition or the severity of that asthma. Do you want to share that with us?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so there is this one specific case that I remember. There are a handful of cases, but one specific case where just by using our adjustments and helping them improve their lung capacity by taking deeper breaths, mobilizing the upper back, improving their posture, we were able to help this person not need their Ventolin puffer multiple times a day, but only to use it maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And so that was a really big eye opener for myself and as well as for the patient, because again, the patient understood that there were things that they could do outside of using a Ventolin puffer that could improve their asthma symptoms. Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Well, I love this and I'm a bit sad about not knowing that posture is affecting breathing or asthma because we have been dealing with that for probably over a year in our family that was resolved and and we did ask specific or I got my son doing certain exercises that were affecting his breathing they are breathing exercises that has, I believe, considerably shifted his ability to take in oxygen or take in breathing, which is connected to posture, would you say?
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's just amazing for you to, I mean, if you look at the mechanics of the way the rib cage works and the spine works, every time we take a deep breath in or every time we breathe, our rib cage expands as our diaphragm pushes down, and we inhale the air and we fill our lungs up. They're like sacs of air that we inflate in our chest. And that movement of the rib cage actually straightens us up. So we actually stand up taller when we do take deeper breaths. So just by training and taking deeper breaths, you are improving posture and you are improving the neurology of breathing. So in many ways, if you think about it, with what you just said, just by working on your breathing, you're able to impact your posture, and therefore, it's going to remove those movement patterns. Because so asthma is obviously affecting you or affecting people in a way that they breathe with less capacity. It then starts to draw the shoulders forward. Then starts to bring the head forward. And those muscles being in that position for a period of time, whether it be hours, weeks, or months, or even for many people, years, is already going to make it difficult to be able to take those deeper breaths. So you're just perpetuating this vicious cycle. So like what you've done, Andre, you're able to break that cycle. And that way, obviously, you're able to increase that oxygen uptake and improve the problem. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Amazing. So, well, we heard the doctor, but before we say goodbye today, let's all of us take a deep breath in and slowly out. So our posture is fixed. Thank
Yes,
you. Thank
absolutely.
you
Just
very
doing
much.
that a handful of times helps.
Thanks very much for your time and catch up next time again, Dr. Raffi.
Looking forward to it, Andre.